Having trouble with your garage door? Problem solved. Call Direct Service Overhead Garage Door Company. We're your go-to team for garage door repair, new garage doors, openers, and more. We offer same-day service. We're always ready when you need us. Best of all, you can book your appointment online or talk to a live operator 24/7. No machines, no waiting. So whether it's a broken spring or a brand new garage door, trust the local experts at Direct Service Garage Doors. Call us today or visit directserviceoverhead.com.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Monday Night Lights live here on Tusk Talk with Ty YouTube. I appreciate everyone for being here alongside me. As per usual, this has become his night, Monday night
show.
We're just gonna call it Monday Night Timmy. That's what we're gonna call it, Timmy. Make sure everyone, as you're coming in, make sure you like, share, hit the subscribe button. Shout out to Patreon supporters. The month is coming to a close. The plane tracking has been happening. We're keeping an eye. I'll just say that we're keeping our eyes to the sky and our ears to the ground. Plane tracking is in full motion in Discord, as I just witnessed in Patreon. Nothing major yet, but there is some talk of some of these U of A planes, possible BOA, BOAT, what are they called? Board of Trustees planes possibly moving around. I mean, right now it's all just it might just be smoke and mirrors and maybe nonsense, maybe not, but we're gonna keep an eye on it anyways. And again, that's happening in Tusk Talk with Ty Patreon. But shout out to all the Patreon supporters, man. Say it every single show, and I'll continue to do so. You guys keep the lights on in Tusk Talk with Ty, as does the sponsor, Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. Shout out to Travis Ford and the boys. So yeah, again, if you're just piling in, make sure you share the content. Sharing is caring. I do have a post live question for the comment section for the post live after the live is done, and that question is: does Hunter Urchek survive the week? That is, huh?
I said,
I thought you said
no. Oh,
yeah. Does he survive the week? There's been some smoke out there that it's possible that he won't. Now, the name of the video is Hunter running out of time. That's actually, we're talking about the coaching search. That's not necessarily about his job, and yet I guess it could mean both things. That headline, that topic could actually be both of those things. Is he running out of time as far as getting a head coach named? And I know that might, to some people, well, what do you mean? It's not even, we're just now coming up on the end of October. We got plenty of time. However, LSU just opened up. And, excuse me, hang on. I'm still fighting.
get that boy some Tamiflu.
I'm so sorry.
Get that boy some Tamiflu, some Dayquil, some NyQuil.
That's right. Get it all, man. I've been fighting this head cold. I slept today. I told you I was like, I did not have time to do a whole lot of research on all the topics today, but yeah. Anyways, Hunter's up against it, man. And I don't think that's a shock to anybody. It's nothing, story breaking, but this is unfolding exactly how we said it would for I don't know how many weeks ago. Yeah. These jobs continue to open up. And if you want to have the conversation, Tim or Chad or people watching after the fact about, who you're going to get and how realistic is Bobby Petrino to this moment? To this moment, certainly after Saturday, I felt like there's no way this is Bobby's job anymore. I don't know, and again, we'll get to that here in a second as well. But yeah, let's read comments here really quick. Let Jeannie Buss make the next hire. Didn't she sell her shares for the Lakers?
I thought she did. Yeah.
What is she up to?
Sincoro Tequila. I think that's about it right now.
Joe Sloan fired today. Follows Kelly out the door at LSU. Arizona Tim, what's up, man? I still got your chrome helmet over here. Hey, Ty, is there any traction in Arkansas about Kenny Dillingham? A little bit here in Arizona. Really? Not to my knowledge. Whatever Hunter or who's responsible for doing the search, whoever they have on their list, who really knows? I mean, they could pull something right out of their ass. For all we know, they've reached out to like a Bob Chesney. It's like a super backup plan, And he's killing it at James Madison. I'm not going to sit here and hate on the guy. He's one of those guys that's won everywhere he's been. He won at Holy Cross, kind of helped put them back on the map. Couldn't win in postseason there. Last year he goes 9-4, his first year at James Madison, and this year they're 6-1 with a possibility of winning out. But no, he's not a real. I'm just being funny. I know someone's going to come at me. Ty, how dare you?
Yeah,
how dare you?
Just wait till you make a comment about Harding down in Searcy.
Oh, Lord.
Harding's won multiple national championships. Maybe they're coach.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, chat lights up.
No, she isn't. What do you mean, Johnny? You talking about Ms. Buss? To my knowledge, I don't know. I don't really give a damn about the Lakers. Yeah, Tim, as far as anything about Kenny Dillingham, I think by the time this thing is done and over with, well, this season, if they haven't already announced a hire, with the more openings that are coming, and this is exactly why Hunter is running out of time, because these jobs that continue to open, like you've had three, I guess, bigger schools open, with Penn State, Florida, and LSU, still the possibility of Florida State, still the possibility of, I don't know, I mean, Auburn, yeah, Hugh Freeze. Mm-hmm. Well, we know he got another week, courtesy of the Arkansas Razorbacks. It's just like absolutely anything can happen, Tim. And it just becomes, so we had the Tusk Talk Discord meetup, our second annual meetup. It was really cool to see everybody. Megan, Matt, I'm trying to remember who all was there. Otto Johnson, Tripp was there. July, of course, who lives here in Springdale. I know I'm forgetting somebody, and I apologize. But it was good to see everybody. One of the things that came up was like, how attractive is the LSU Florida job compared to Arkansas, really? And since LSU has opened up now, and of course you've got Penn State out there, I said, I believe Arkansas is right now one of the top 5 jobs opened up. However, I think they're pretty far away from an LSU, Florida, or even a Penn State. What do you think? Where would you put
when you
them?
Look at those, they are more respected to begin with. They're better recruiting grounds to begin with. I think there's more money in all 3 of those programs than there is in Arkansas. I mean, you have to say, whether you like it or not, right now, Arkansas ranks behind all of them. Yeah, LSU, Florida, Penn State, Arkansas. I didn't even have to see this pop up on the screen to know Arkansas ranks behind all of them. I think this is about right. I think this is about right. As far as what's open today, I think if Auburn opens up, they pop in front of Arkansas and we drop to 5th.
Mm-hmm. Florida State probably in front of you too.
Florida State is probably in front of us, just from a prestige and a money standpoint and a recruiting ground standpoint. I mean, Florida State is in a much better position than we are in the middle of nowhere. Now, that's not to say that the boosters can't get behind it. We don't have big dollars in Arkansas, but it hasn't really gone to football the way that we need it to. So there's 1, 2, 3, and we're a distant 4. If I'm being honest, it's not 1, 2, 3, and man, we're real close to Penn State. I think we're a distant 4 at this point.
And before anyone brings up the fact that we beat them in a bowl game, first off, that's one game.
Yeah.
And that was a great win, and that was a really good year. But you go back and look at those opt-outs. Like, yeah, we didn't have Burks. Arkansas didn't have Burks. That's a pretty big loss to that offense.
Yeah.
But go look at Penn State's opt-outs. It was crazy. I mean, it was like half their starting defense.
And, I mean, the truth be told, how much time do you have between the end of the season and that bowl game to prepare for that game? Anything can happen when you have 3 weeks to prepare for a game or 2 weeks to prepare for a game. Anything can happen. And it did. I mean, great for us. It was fantastic. But a lot of things can happen in that kind of situation. It's not in the middle of the season, in the middle of a grueling SEC grind, and you pick up Penn State in week 7. That might have had a different outcome than that particular bowl game. Like you said, with the opt-outs plus preparation time, a lot of people can beat one team given preparation time. So
yeah. And there's a lot there, like, when you're talking about.
I know I'll get the you don't know ball, but
you don't know ball. Yeah. Anytime you say something some of these guys in Discord don't agree with, it's don't know ball.
Tim don't know ball.
It is pretty funny to see. I've seen it used towards people who I'm like, no, actually, that guy is pretty knowledgeable. I don't know that I'd say he doesn't know ball. I get it, though. It's to be funny. I get it.
Yeah.
So how you think Shane Beamer leaves Virginia Tech? Well, leaves 4. I was like, wait a minute, hold on.
I've seen rumors about that he would leave for Virginia Tech.
Well, I don't know. Like South Carolina, what a collapse for South Carolina this year.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the expectations were so high.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that like, that he's terrible, but like the expectations there were very high, and he hasn't lived up to it. And he's, you ever watch his post games with the media? He is the snarkiest. I can't stand the dude. First off, when South Carolina came in here back in 22, I think it was, and they lost, I think that ended up being like a pretty good game. I was working for Hogville at the time, helping them get their channel going. And Dudley Dawson, Dudley Dawson's one of my favorite people and all. Him and Richard Davenport, Otis Kirk. The more you get to know these guys, you just come to love those guys. They are awesome. Trey Biddy's a good dude. Danny West. I like all those guys. A lot of the OG media guys that I won't say I got to know, but was around a little bit. Dudley Dawson asked him a question. I don't remember what the question was, but he makes this face at Dudley like he's like, what Dudley asked was so asinine. And I remember it being a pretty harmless PG question. Ever since then, I just can't stand that dude. I don't know if it's because he clapped at my boy at Dudley. I don't know if that's what it is. But if you watch him, he does this shit like every post game. He's such a smart ass. Yeah. He can't handle being challenged. Anyways,
people can't. Yeah.
Yeah. He maybe I could see him going to Virginia Tech, and maybe that'd be enough to excite those people. I don't know.
Do you think the collapse at South Carolina makes Virginia Tech want him or lose a little interest in him? Or are they just like, well, that was just because it was South Carolina?
That's a good question. And they also had the injury to their quarterback.
Yeah,
Sellers had the injury. Man, they're riding a 3-game losing streak. I mean, they've lost to I don't think they've beaten a single ranked opponent. They lost by 10 to LSU, which right now is starting to look more and more like a bad loss for teams. They lost, and most of these are pretty close games. They got manhandled against Vanderbilt, 31-7.
Yeah, that was early in the season. Second game, I think.
Third game, and I think that was the game Sellers got knocked out of. I think, I'm going to pull that up here. Yeah, because Doty played. Luke Doty played. He went 18 to 27 for 148 yards and a pick. Sellers was 6 of 7 for 94 yards and a pick. And he ran for -3 yards. But Vanderbilt has made a lot of teams look silly this year. But yeah, I don't know what's in the SEC. The shakeup this year, again, and I know you can't see all this coming if you're an athletic director, especially someone like Hunter, who's already under the gun. He was already under pressure after the 4-win season in keeping Pittman. Of course, I understand, the buyout being what it was and whether or not Arkansas had the funds, whatever, the optics are, who gives a damn about buyouts anymore anyways.
This year for sure.
Did you hear the total on buyouts alone?
$69 million.
Did you say 169?
Yeah, I think it's 169 or 169 and a half.
Man, are they putting this on their Capital One credit? Like, what are they doing? How? I mean, all these schools are so terrified about how much they're going to have to spend hitting that 20.5. They're having to shave off the top. They're having to knock down 10 to 15% of their overall athletic budget, and then they're firing these coaches with these massive buyouts.
Apparently, every school's got Chicken Man and Walmart and Stevens. Everybody's got their version of oil money or something.
I guess so. Kick says it's 170 million. I mean, we're kind of, I don't want to say splitting hairs because that is a lot of money, $10 million difference there. But yeah, so Hunter's already under fire for keeping Sam. And now you've got this unprecedented season just in the SEC alone. And then, of course, you look outside the SEC and all these openings. Like you see here on the screen: Virginia Tech, Oklahoma State, UCLA, Stanford, Oregon State, Colorado State, UAB, and Kent State. That's insane.
Yeah.
At least 9 of those are absolutely like no one saw this coming. And it's hard to fault Hunter. However, you know what? This is why you get paid the big bucks to be the athletic director of the University of Arkansas. You've got to, if you're gonna make the decision to just get however many games into the year, he was fired after Notre Dame. So to get that far into the season and to fire him, and then for us to basically hear that they're putting together a plan, like it just doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like there's any thought put into any of this sometimes when you really look at it. Why did you bring him back to begin with?
Right. Well, and you're firing at the hip now. Oh, we're putting together a plan to bring in another coach. Why didn't you put together a plan for Sam? Why didn't you put together a plan for Bobby? Why didn't you put together a plan for T-Will? Why is it after the fact?
Really good question.
Oh, now we're going to put together a plan. Oh, really? You didn't have one before this? Put together a plan for whoever's coaching and keep it in place. And if it starts to fall apart, put together another plan. But don't just let things ride for years. No, just let it ride. Who cares if we're, 4-9? Who cares? 4-8, 5-7. No big deal. We got a plan. One of these days.
We'll get it figured out. I think the next guy's got to dial in Texas recruiting. Dustino, you're the man. I don't know if you retweeted the show or not, but I always tag you when I make these because I know I'm always on you about retweeting the show. But I love this take. Got to get back into Texas.
You say this a dozen times.
Right? Yeah,
Texas
it's
is important to Arkansas in recruiting.
It's in my when I write my manifesto, my Arkansas Razorback manifesto. It's going to be in there. It's going to be, please get back to traditional pipelines, recruit the hell out of Louisiana, go back to Tulsa, go back to Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth. Dabble into Tennessee if you can, but everything else, just stick to your traditional pipelines.
Ty's writing his memoirs already.
Ty, thank you for the Dayquil joke the other night. I needed that. The other stuff is for rich people. I did say that. Oh man, I was trying to scroll through here and read some of these. Ty, you're trying. Let's see. Ty, you're going to make him cry real tears for saying things like that about Bobby Petrino. Wait, what did I say about Bobby Petrino?
No. Make who cry? Me?
I don't know. I think maybe someone in chat. Maybe I was responding to someone. We'll be right behind you, Ty. Hey, I appreciate that, man. It's time to get the pitchforks ready. It's time to get the pitchforks ready. We're coming.
I like this one. Look up 360 STS. People that say you don't know ball are the Al Bundys of the game that were fourth stringers in middle school. Yep.
You know what? I revisit my high school days a little bit. You know, I might reminisce, especially if I get like a injury, like when I stand up, because I'm getting older now. I'm in my 40s.
Yep,
So now that means when you stand up, you make old man sounds. So like my knees pop, my back, and I'm like, oh, there's 39. Oh, there's 38. Oh, there's 41. Oh, and then I think back, like, yeah, some of those are probably from Fayetteville High.
Yeah.
Scott Swindle says, just get Franklin and be done with it. At least we can go 6-6 and go to a bowl game. That's what you think Franklin gets?
Now, I mean, look. I know you said we can pick apart every coach, no matter who it is. But the knock on Franklin is he doesn't win ranked games. He doesn't. Now look at our schedule and how many ranked games are on the schedule, and there's your wins. He doesn't win ranked games. We're going 4-8.
Yeah, you only didn't play or won't end up playing about 4 teams this year that weren't ranked, and you lost to one of them at the time when they weren't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hunter has to figure out. We've said this a number of times. You're going to have to pick a guy and just go after him and force him to say no and turn you down. I just had hoped that there would be more smoke by now, although I understand that a coach is not like, you're not supposed to. I don't know what the rules are. I don't know if an athletic director can pick up the phone and just call. I think the rule is the unwritten rule, and I seem to remember this when Jeff Long was talking to Bo Mattingly, and I want to say that he'd said something like, you're supposed to contact that school's athletic director to gain permission.
I think that's right.
To talk to a coach or an assistant or whatever. I don't know if that's an actual NCAA rule. I don't know if it's just one of those unwritten rules. But there are proxies. There are in-betweens. There are people who talk between the universities. There's agents and whatnot. And so what I'll say is, take everything with a grain of salt. We believe that Dan Mullen, and I think the Dan Mullen thing is done, but we believe he's turned down the job, and officially I guess he has quite publicly on Twitter 0.0. And the belief is that Rhett Lashley's not interested. And what people keep sharing, and I don't know how the hell they would know this. Well, Rhett Lashley will come back when he's older, when he's comfortable. How do you know that? How does anybody know that?
When the game
Why would he say that?
Is that what we're thinking? When the game is passed and by, he'll come.
I mean, isn't that kind of where we're at with Gus Malzahn right now?
I feel like it.
Right? I mean, Gus, I think, would take the job in a heartbeat.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Oh, really?
I don't. I mean, I don't know. Maybe all the bad feelings are gone, but
oh, that's true.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I saw an article yesterday saying that the Wake Forest win over SMU might have cracked that door a little bit, actually.
Say that again?
Wake Forest beat SMU on a last-second field goal.
Yeah.
And the article said that may have cracked the door a little bit on Rhett Lashley coming here. That
really?
may have actually opened the door just a little bit. Like maybe this could be a possibility after all.
Well, that most likely that loss
cost them a playoff.
Cost them the playoff. Yeah, because not only that, but like all their losses are to unranked opponents.
Right.
So like I think even the 2 losses really put them up against it. It put them in a situation where they have to make the ACC championship and win it.
And they need help to make the ACC championship. That's what the article said.
Okay.
They can make it, but they're going to need help. And that's where it may have cracked the door for him to come. Now, I can sit here and say James Franklin doesn't win against ranked opponents. And you just said Rhett Lashley just lost 3 games against unranked opponents. So if you're going to use the argument against one,
Yeah.
I don't know why you don't use the argument against the other.
Yeah.
So
I'm surprised Wake Forest is actually having a pretty decent year. I'm surprised they're not ranked.
yeah.
They lost to Georgia Tech by a point. And Georgia Tech, who right now is 8-0,
Yeah.
5-0 in conference. And they lost to them, even though it was at home, they lost to them by a point. And they lost to NC State by 10. And I think that game didn't start to separate until later. So I'm a little surprised Wake Forest isn't ranked, but that could be the effect of the ACC. But yeah, the SMU right now is 3-1 in conference, 5-3 overall. And Rhett Lashley, I don't know how. I just don't know where things really are with Rhett. I really wonder if everything we've heard is someone just feeding more smoke, because this is every damn time we get into these coaching searches. We get all this smoke, and it turns out like none of it's real, and you can't blame anybody. Where even the most reliable sources, most reliable people in media, they can be led astray. They can be told, someone is feeding that person that they rely on, that source, wrong information on purpose. And so I don't know. I'm just not willing to shut the door on anybody other than Dan Bolin.
Well,
but,
and I wouldn't even shut the door on Dan Mullen, except I feel like the Gus Malzahn ending comment was just disrespect.
Oh man.
Like saying I have 0.0% interest is really not a big deal. He was at the time undefeated at UNLV.
Yeah.
You don't want to derail your undefeated season by saying something that upsets your players. I get the 0.0, but the slap in the face was the Gus Malzahn. You should just hire Gus Malzahn.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, why did you have to do that?
Mm-hmm.
That just ruined it. Like now I really don't want you because you didn't just turn us down. You're a jerk about it.
Yeah, you're kind of what a doucher thing to say.
Yeah.
Dustino says, I appreciate the $5 super chat. Woo pig Dustino. Strong possibility we bring in a head coach AD duo. Oh man. There's a successful AD in Dallas right now.
Not only will we take Rhett Lashley from you, we'll take your AD too.
We'll take your AD. Dustin, if this happens, it would be one of the biggest swaps in recent memory in college football, to not only take a school with the resources that SMU has and with a coach with the reputation that he has, even though it looks like they might have like a 8-4 kind of year, maybe 7-5, but still to swap that, and a guy who went to the playoffs, by the way, I think Hog fans would love that swap, Dustin, and that would be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Ants Ratliff says Hunter is gone.
Hunter is gone, huh?
We'll have to pull that up. I know they're probably just like tongue in cheek in that. They're not really saying that he's gone, but I do want to. Someone had said we better
just come in tonight.
Yeah. Said that we better have it on refresh or something about Hunter possibly getting fired. There again, that is the question for the post live chat. Does Hunter Urchek survive the week? And I only ask that because no one is telling me that. I mean, I take that back. I did have one person who I don't know how reliable this guy is. I'll just say it. You know what? Someone got on to me and said that promoting Patreon was tacky. Apparently I'm not allowed to promote Patreon. I guess I got to do all this. I got to do everything I do for free.
Wait, so you can have a Patreon, just don't promote it. People have to find it on their own.
They're going to have to find it on their own. That's right.
Well, I mean, isn't that how everything grows? People just find it. It's all word of mouth, right?
Sounds like some communist gobbledygook to me. But anyways, this person who I don't rely on is like a great connection. He has landed on stuff. This is someone I've relied on back in the high school recruiting days, going back several years. He strongly believes, and I don't know if this is something that he's been told. He thinks he's gone this week, and believes that this is to be. So again, it's what are your sources? I know a guy. It's one of those, and I hate to do that, but he is someone who has fed me some good info, but take it, like I say with everything, with a grain of salt.
Yeah. So far, there's nothing on Google.
But that's not why I'm saying. I mean, there's other people who around, the fan sites and some of it on Twitter and other places that believe that this is going to happen. And that's where the smoke is coming from. Again, the purpose of the title on this is it's about finding the next head coach for Hunter. Is he running out of time? But again, I guess we could say two things, that title meaning two things at once, that could he be up against it? So yeah, I don't know where they're at with this coaching search. I wish, we appreciate, well, I say we appreciate his transparency, but last time he did that at the Little Rock Touchdown Club, and then when he assigned when he came out and talked about Petrino taking over as the interim, he's pretty upfront. Hunter was about like why Sam wasn't supported. He didn't say why, but he said Sam didn't have the financial, he wasn't backed, right? But I wish he'd give us kind of an update. I think he is also on the clock with the board of trustees, Tim, if I remember right. He had mentioned something about like a time, like maybe a time frame to go back to the board of trustees with a plan.
Right.
So again, when this all happens, and maybe that's some of this movement we're seeing with the planes being tracked, I don't know. But hopefully he's coming out soon and he's giving us an update. And here's what's going on. Or really, the thing that needs to happen is Hunter does. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know that if Hunter were to make this hire, how long would he be sticking around? And
I mean, this is his last gasp, because isn't there's still the rumor that he's headed to the SEC, right?
That's a strong rumor, right? Like that's the thing that I keep hearing is that he's going to end up with that, possibly down in SEC country. Is
that begs the question, why would they even let him make the choice? Why wouldn't the board just put together a team to make the choice and take that out of Hunter's hands if he's going to be gone anyway?
Maybe there's not a lot of confidence that he's getting that job necessarily, or maybe at the time when they were moving forward with everything, they weren't really sure what the plan was there. I don't know. Yeah, but they do have a search committee, right? Isn't that what we were told? Or I feel like that was something that was explained that
I don't remember that that's what we were told, or that we just made the assumption.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe we assumed they were. I could have sworn Hunter or somewhere someone had said that they were putting together a committee to go out and make a recommendation. Now, we know at the end of the day, the AD does sign. The AD, I believe, it's either the AD, the president, or the chancellor, or someone with the board of trustees with the BOT. Someone's got to sign the damn check. So, I don't know what I don't know. It's again, I would love it if we could get an update from Hunter. If Hunter could come out and say, "Here's what we're doing,"
yeah,
he's not going to come out and say, "I'm fired," unless he's,
Well, and this has been the problem with Hunter from the Touchdown Club appearance. He came out with the problem, and there's nothing wrong with stating the problem. The problem is we don't have the money. We can't fund to a championship level. Fine, but you can't stop there. You have to have a plan. You have to say, guys, this is the plan to get us to a championship level, and lay it out. And here we are again. Here's the problem. All of these openings are opening up. All of these coaches are going to be looking at all the openings and figuring out where they go. And the problem is we might not get the coach we want because better jobs are opening. Here's the plan. And when that's the part where he's never been good at communication on the plan. He's good at communicating the problem and horrible at communicating the plan.
He's good at saying there will be a plan.
Yeah. I promise you there's going to be a plan, but actually communicating the plan, no. It's just, well, here's the problem.
Right. Hunter ain't gone. He's I guess Johnny Jones is at the FedEx Forum. Yeah, okay, that's fair. I mean, I don't think they're going to fire Hunter today. That's fair. I think they're going to give him till, but I do think we could see something this week. If I had to answer that question, even with all the smoke, that there's a possibility that he won't be back this week or that he's gone this week. Sometimes this stuff happens where the fans do get wind of it because of certain members of the media are telling them, they're talking to them, They just those members don't feel comfortable going to the public with it.
Yeah.
And again, that's where some of the I can tell you that right now firsthand. That is absolutely something that happens. And then the fans get wind of it, and it ends up being correct. That does happen. But I don't think, I'm going to say no, I don't think Hunter, or yes, Hunter survives the week. And again, you can add on to that question or to responding to that question. Like, no, I think he survives the week, but I think he's gone by, in the next 3 weeks if they don't have a plan in place. Kerper says, I'll promote Patreon. You're the man, Kerp. You're the man. Even with the case of ligma that you've got. He knows I love him. Max, my boy. Max, my boy. The Gruden, we reeled one in.
Gruden bridge hire.
Oh my God, the Gruden hire is growing on me. It is refreshing to see someone actually want, all caps, the job.
let me just put this here. Gruden wants an SEC job.
Yeah,
I was looking at yesterday an LSU post. RG3 posted that Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, reached out to him and said, I want the LSU coaching job. So I didn't care that he said that. He clickbaits and says crazy stuff all the time. Whatever. I don't care
talking about wait, who
RG3.
Okay.
RG3 will say random, you can't necessarily trust them. But it got LSU Twitter talking. And there was quite a few people going, what about John Gruden? You think we're the only people talking about John Gruden? We're not the only people talking about John Gruden. So if this guy wants to come to the SEC and now you got LSU and Arkansas, does he love Arkansas that much or does he love the SEC?
Or does he just want to get back into?
Does he just want to get back into coaching? I'll tell you where I would go.
Where would you go?
I don't go to LSU if I was John Gruden. I'd go to Arkansas for myself. But if I'm Gruden and I'm wanting to get back into coaching, I'm going where the money and the recruits are.
Let me address something, and I don't know that I'll find it. I think it was Matt that said this. So talking about Gruden, and again, is he a realistic choice? Probably not. I wouldn't I wouldn't bet. But Matt had said something. Reckon stay where he's at now. I don't know about that. That's not the thing he said though. Matt's had some hot takes tonight. I can't find it. Oh no, I knew I'd lose it. I should have. I wish I could save some of these without having to pop them up on screen.
Can't you star them?
Say what?
Can't you star them? Oh no, stars are just the stars.
Maybe I can. Oh, I can. Oh hell, I can.
You're welcome.
I never knew that. I thought that was something to do with Super Chat. That's awesome. We learn new things every day here. Anyways, he had said something about. Oh man, you guys have talked a lot tonight. I'm scrolling forever. Is it this one? LSU is way better. I don't think Florida, especially these jobs, come with NIL portal era. So along those lines, and I've seen this comment similar to this, but it's like the pressure at Arkansas is much less. So it makes it a better job. And that might be true for some coaches. But at the end of the day, I think if I'm a coach, and again, this was something I had mentioned when I was hanging out, we were at a Penguin Ed's after the game, really good pulled pork sandwich. Shout out to Penguin Ed's. No, they're not a sponsor. Maybe I should reach out to them for sponsorship. But I had mentioned that, again, Florida and LSU, I felt like we're just on another level compared to Arkansas right now. Here's the thing that these coaches want to know. Can I win there? Can I win at a high level there? And who is the highest or the last highest level, in terms of winning coach Arkansas's had? And that's been over a decade ago. That was Bobby Petrino. I mean, again, and I realize that a lot of coaches end on bad terms with their jobs. Mm-hmm. Like 75% of them probably, well, I shouldn't say that because you factor in group of 5 coaches that move up, but at least in the P4 level, it's way more common that they get fired than it is for them to, or at least it feels that way. I don't know. Actually, that would be a really good thing to look up on AI, I guess, is, what's more likely to happen in P4 coaching, to get fired or to leave for a better job. But anyways, a lot of coaches lose their jobs. That's the point that I'm making. And that's not exclusive to Arkansas, but you have now fired your last two coaches before they're into of a season. The last guy before that, and Brett Bielema, who was coming from a winning Big Ten program, 3 straight Rose Bowls. What happened to him? Now he ended up landing on his feet because he's a Big Ten guy. Bielema is at Illinois, and he put together a really good staff there. Brought back Berlani and everything, but it's just more common at Arkansas. You're going to get fired. And it's not going to do your career much good. And again, that was something that was rumored to have been said by Rhett Lashley or someone from around Rhett's camp or something. So you have to ask yourself realistically, and even if you're talking about a guy like John Gruden, okay, if Penn State, Florida, LSU, hell, I'll even throw Florida State in there and Auburn, I'll throw them all in there, even the jobs that aren't open up yet. And then you throw Arkansas in that mix. Let's say they do want Gruden. For whatever reason, Gruden's their number one, I guess, because we mentioned him most recent. Where do you think he's going to go? Where does Arkansas end up in terms of that, of those, comparing to those other schools? And some fans will tell you, well, the risk is it's higher at those other schools because if you don't win, and that's a fair assessment, but you're also more likely to win at these programs at a much higher level than Arkansas is. And right now, hell, you could throw Vanderbilt in there.
Something else to consider. A couple of people have said, yeah, but Arkansas gave Pittman 2 more years than he deserved. We kept a coach after a 4-win year. Florida and these schools would never. But that's part of the point. When you say Arkansas has less pressure, then you get a coach who's looking for less pressure. And when they're looking for less pressure, they're winning at a rate of someone who's looking for less pressure. I don't feel the pressure. I'm not getting fired. Oh, and Sam said that multiple times in his post games. They'd say, Sam, are you feeling the pressure of the hot seat? He's like, I don't feel any pressure. I'll be coaching Arkansas too. I'll have a cold beer. So, I mean, he did. How many times did he say, I don't feel any pressure. That stuff doesn't bother me. That's what you get. Mm-hmm. So when you say Arkansas is a low pressure job, you get a coach who isn't concerned about winning. Oh, well, I don't care. I mean, I'm going to keep my job for 8 years and have cold beers and play the jukebox. So
turn on that damn jukebox. Kicks, I'm not saying, listen, Arkansas is not going to suck forever. I don't think that's going to be the case. It's just where you're at right now. Matt says we kept a coach. Yeah, you pointed out what he said. We kept a coach after a 4-year win. Keep in mind, and I agree, he should have been fired. His contract at the time for Arkansas was just, the buyout was just too high, Matt. But that is okay. That's a good point. And I think Matt has been on. I think he's been one of the people who have made this claim that, well, it's just it's an easier going job. And John Neighbors made this point. Travis tweeted this out and sent us the video about what John Neighbors had said about, talking to Coach Franklin. I don't have it on me, and I don't think I would get hit with a copyright warning. I would hope not if I played John's video, but it was a really compelling video. And basically what he said was, Penn State didn't appreciate you. These other jobs will not appreciate you. You consider what they just did, what Penn State just did, and then they fired, which was so stupid at Penn State, by the way. And I agree with that. Whereas you come to a place like Fayetteville, Arkansas, and he said, they will build you a statue if you advance in the playoffs, making it to the semifinals. And that's not far off from being true. That's not far off at all from being true. But again, for a coach, let's look at, we could throw up all the hypotheticals we want. What we do know is, and I'm speaking to Matt and whoever else is on this train of, well, it's easier here, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Is it though? Sam had no support. He had no financial. Hunter admitted this. Hunter Urchek admitted this. He did not have financial support. So is this an easier job when if you have one disappointing season or even just two not so great years, and hell, the 4-year, that was a fireable offense, I agree. But if you have a bad year, fans are done. As a head coach, you know that that's a possibility. You're going to have a 4 or 5 win year, especially at a school like Arkansas. I hate to say it, but that's been the case more times than it should have been, but it has been the case. So that's it. I'm going to lose my funding. I'm not going to be able to hit the NIL. I'm not going to have financial support. And that's why, again, you've got to have a long-term plan in place. Your time is running out, Hunter. These jobs keep opening up. In the long term, like you've got to have a plan in place and funding there. Coach Cal came here because of that very reason. Because he had Chicken Man, he had Tyson. They had a plan. It's not going to just be 1 year, Coach Cal. We've got your back. Now, that's basketball, apples and oranges, way less scholarships to fund. I get it.
I was going to say, there's a lot less money it takes to put that team together.
But it's still a plan in place, and other schools, other basketball programs had to do the same, and yet he came to Arkansas, right? You got to do the same with football. And right now the optics are, Matt, and to the folks who claim that Arkansas is a better job because of the, without the high pressure. You just, how supportive do you feel at Arkansas, really? Ask Sam that question. It wouldn't be it won't be high. If he ever comes out, and I'm sure he will. I fully expect him to end up on a podcast in the next, who knows, year, 2, 3, 5 years, where he's going to come out and they're going to ask him how did that, of course, we know you don't like being fired, Sam, but as far as the lack of pressure thing, how you feel, and what would be something you would tell coaches, future head coaches? And I guarantee you something he would say would be something like, make sure they got a plan in place for you and your NIL. Make sure they got a plan in place to facilitate your roster, because otherwise you're going to be under the gun like I am. So no, I don't think that Arkansas is necessarily a better job because there's less pressure. I would argue that it's down the totem pole because of what happened to Sam. Would be my point.
Well, that brings up an interesting point, Ty, because we call it a lower pressure job, because it feels that way from an administration standpoint, like they're letting a coach get by with few wins. But from an NIL standpoint, this would be a high pressure job, a very high pressure job, because they're going to pull your money and your funding in 1 year. If you can't win, okay, well, you only won 4 games. We're not going to fund you anymore. Yeah. Good luck to you. You should have been a winning coach. That's pretty high pressure, actually.
Yeah.
Even if you're going to keep your job, if you're not going to have the money, you're not going to produce.
Yeah. Arkansas had just a little bit less than Ole Miss and LSU and NIL funding, but did a shit job building this team. That's fair. I don't know about. I think everything else is speculation about how much this roster actually costs, though. Fish. I think everything else is speculation. I don't know that I buy that this was a $16.5 million roster or whatever they say it was. When you consider who Ole Miss and LSU brought, especially Ole Miss, who they brought in out of the portal, compared to Arkansas, there is no way they're within just a few million of each other. There's no way. So I don't know that I buy that entirely, but you're not wrong in that they did not build. I mean, you see the issues they're having on the defensive line. Everything else is speculation. We don't really know. Maybe they were competitive. I don't know compared to these other schools, but where is it? What, like, where is the 16? Where do you see $16.5 million? I know what Talon is rumored to have gotten in 1.5, I think. I hope you didn't pay that much for Omega. And Omega's been great. I'm not saying he's not. I mean, he's been spectacular, actually. But at the time, he was he was a pretty good get out of the portal. I don't know. Matt's making his case here. Not that it's a quote-unquote better job, but with the right support, it's a job a guy like Franklin will think about. Well, no one's saying he's not going to think about the job, Matt. Hold on, bro. Whoa. We're not saying he's not thinking about it. And I've also never said he's not taking the job. I'm just simply telling you the optics are what they are. Oh my God, listen to Chuck and Bo this morning. I know there's plenty of people who do not like that show. That's fine. I listen for the sake of everyone else. Even Chuck sounded like he's more or less let go of the rope. Like the optics are not great right now.
How does the propaganda machine let go of the rope?
I know. And that's one of the reasons why I keep listening, because I'm like, what I do is here. I'll tell you what to do if you're going to listen to Chuck and Bo. I'm not saying you got to listen to them and you got to like everything they say. I got a lot of respect for Bo. I really do. Bo, as an entrepreneur, Bo is I like him. I'll just say that. I've never met the guy, but he's on top of his game, man. But when those two have let go of the rope, especially someone like Chuck, go back and listen to it. So what I do is in the morning, I pause it. I pause the show, and then I listen to maybe Eric G on 921, The Ticket. Really good. Him and I forgot the guy, the producer. They do a really good job of diving into the specifics. I love it. That's my kind of talk show. Okay. Dive into the specifics. Let's not do ad after ad after ad after ad. Oh, we're back from our ads. Here's some more ads. They dive into everything with this team, and I love it. So then I'll go back when they're done. I'll go back and I'll fast forward through all the ads on Chuck and Bo. And every once in a while you get a little bit out of them, and you come to realize like they have let go of the rope. They have. So that tells you kind of where that ought to tell you everything about where Arkansas is as far as the optics. Yeah, Matt, I know you didn't say, I know, Matt. I think Matt's getting a little frustrated. Ty, the most brilliant. I feel like Mason is what do you call that? When you're hyping somebody up. Not gaslight. The other one.
I think he is kind of gaslighting you.
Do you think he is? No, Mason's a good dude.
Like 3 weeks in a row of that exact same tweet there.
Chuck sounded horrible this morning.
Post.
Matt
says he's just bored, LOL.
I feel like what Cignetti has done at Indiana makes schools like Arkansas more appealing for coaches. Yeah, Cignetti has been he's won everywhere. And the other thing about Cignetti is, don't tell Austin this, he's like 65. There, Austin and there's some other people, they don't want an older coach. And yet Cignetti, he's defying all odds, man. He's not supposed to be doing what he's doing at Indiana. Camo says glaze. He's glazing me. Sorry, Camo. Someone comes in here and isn't constantly negative. I mean, Fishman says brown nosing. I don't think he's doing any of that. Mason's a good guy. Waiting on the B-ball after this to feel better after being a Hog fan. Yeah.
I expect a good show tonight, actually.
Oh, man.
I expect a good show tonight after watching that Cincy game. And I realized, I don't know if you saw the stats they put up at the beginning of the game. You okay there, buddy?
I'm dying. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. My bad. Go on.
The stats they put up on the screen at the beginning of the Cincinnati game is they were replacing 92% of their scoring, 84% of their rebounding, 90% of their assists. I mean, Cincinnati was not going to probably be fantastic in an opening exhibition game. At the same time, we looked so strong out there. Not that we did everything perfect. We definitely did not. Shot selection was a bit of a problem at times. But, man, we almost put up 100 points. It was fantastic nice.
It was good. It was so good. I had to put that on the screen.
I love it.
Brian Kelly includes $50 million buyout.
It really is too bad Travis is not here. He glazes Brian Kelly like nobody I've ever seen.
Oh, really?
Fun of him. I used to totally make fun of him because when LSU hired Brian Kelly, I was at Travis's house when it was announced, and Travis was like, "Oh my God, LSU just bought themselves a national championship because they hired Brian Kelly." And I was just like, "Hey, Brian Kelly gonna win national championship, LSU, Brian Kelly." And eventually he was like, "Stop doing the carpet voice. I don't love Brian Kelly that much." But I was sitting there. He was like, "Oh my God, LSU just bought a national championship. They hired Brian Kelly. He's going to win it all." So it's funny that he's not here to talk about this.
Yeah, that is funny. Yeah, I'm with you though about Arkansas basketball. They Akoff just looked. Who is going to defend him to the rim?
For real.
He
does not look like a freshman.
He doesn't.
He doesn't.
And he's got that dash of JD Note in him. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Insert that into my veins, bro. Get just right there. Just put it right there, man. I'm all in, dude. Him alone. And then you factor in everything else about this team. It is, yeah, I guess we're glazing them. I don't know. You know what? We were last year. I know I was. I was all over it.
Yeah.
And they still ended up.
Brazil is back. Brazil is back. He was not timid. He was not scared. He hit threes. He dunked something furious.
Yeah.
I mean, Brazil looked like Brazil from the first year before the injury. Pre-injury Brazil.
Brazil.
Oh my gosh. It was so exciting to watch.
Thomas, who quietly ended up leading, I think, in points.
Scoring. Yeah.
I mean, oh my God. They're just so good. And again, I did glaze last year's team. They started off 0-5. I don't know anyone who thought Arkansas was even going to make the tournament at that point.
Yeah.
Only to go on almost an Elite Eight run. And I'm even higher on this team. And like everyone says, and it's true, the regular season and postseason are two different seasons. That's absolutely fair. Now, if you've really caught fire, as you're getting into March, God only knows how far you can go, even if you've just kind of average talent-wise.
Well, it really turned when Boogie got hurt and Wagner took over the point. And that was a different team. That Boogie is a bad player. I've said this before on this show. It's not to say he's a bad player, but he was a bad fit.
Right.
And we got better when he was off the floor.
Yep.
So it makes me really, I said this too, it makes me wonder how Florida's going to do with him.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's a bad fit there, again, not a bad player, but is he the right fit? It may be to our benefit that he went to Florida.
That's not how it's going to work, though. He's going to go there and he's going to be incredible.
Average 35 points a game.
That's what's going to happen. That's
what happens to Arkansas guys for sure.
I swear. I saw this. Share screen. John Rothstein.
One game this season. It's the Florida game.
Yeah, right. And we get blown out. John Rothstein tweeted this back in June. SEC returning scoring by percentage. Arkansas 45%.
Yeah, I saw the same thing.
I'm surprised Florida. So they're at 41%, and a lot of people have a hard time even saying that. Like, I think some places have them winning again, and I've even seen. I don't remember who it was I was listening to, but they had Florida outside the top 3, and I remember thinking, like, wait a minute, but they're returning like quite a bit of their scoring, And here's Kentucky at 33. The lowest being A&M. Of course, we know why, in South Carolina and all the crap teams. Auburn's going to be interesting. Already not returning a lot of scoring, and they lost Bruce Pearl.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm a little surprised Kentucky's. I know why. I mean, I know they lost a lot of scoring, but it's hard to see Kentucky not in the top 2 or 3.
I'm going to give you where I'm at with, I'm going to give the top, I'll go top 6. And I know, like, we got to get through tonight. And listen, win or lose tonight, it's an exhibition. I don't ever take these super serious. And by the way, I don't know, depending on how I'm feeling by the end of the game, I'm running on like fumes right now. I don't know if by the end of the game I'm going to be able to do a post game or not. So that's up in the air. I don't know if I'm going to do one. Just make sure you hit the notification bell. That way you get an alert as soon as I go live. If I do, I may not. If not, I'll be back Wednesday and we'll talk about this game. But I'm going to give you my top 6 in the SEC. And number 1 is probably going to surprise a few people. And I hate to say this. I think I'm going to put Kentucky at number 1 in the SEC. I really, they've got some interesting pieces. There's a lot of movement here, like with a lot of teams. Jalen Lowe, Otiga Owa, I think I'm pronouncing it. I'm probably wrong. Brandon Garrison, like they have some pieces here at Kentucky, a lot of depth and so much talent and a really expensive roster. And again, I know we absolutely despise Kentucky, and I'm just talking about like the regular season wins and losses. Okay, I'm not saying like they're going to finish, are they going to go further than Arkansas in the NCAA tournament? I don't know. We'll have to cross that bridge when we get to it. Right. But it was kind of a toss-up for me between them and Florida, and I'll even say Arkansas. Those are my top 3. I've got Arkansas at number 2 behind Kentucky. Obviously, for everything we've already talked about. And I don't think like Kentucky might be 1A, who I've got probably at about 15-3. I think Arkansas probably goes about 14-4, maybe 15-3. Florida most likely 14-4 in conference play. I'm probably going to go with Tennessee right in front of Alabama at 4th, and then put Alabama in at 5th, and then I'll say maybe Vandy at 6th, either Vandy or Ole Miss at 6th. But the top 5, top 6 of the SEC this year is stout. Vandy could surprise people this year. Vandy's very interesting with Travis Perry and I'm sorry, that's my bad. That's Ole Miss. Frankie Collins, Tyler Harris, Jalen Washington. Like Vanderbilt's pretty well built, from the inside out. But again, I would say Kentucky and I hate to say that. I hope Peanut Butter Posse's not in here. I doubt he is because I don't have basketball in the title. But I would put Kentucky at number 1. Listen, I got to be as unbiased as humanly possible, and some might call me biased for putting Arkansas in at 2nd. But yeah. I've got Arkansas at 2nd, and I think Florida is going to be floating around again. 41% of their scoring is back this year. Again, Florida, Xavion Lee, Boogie Fland, God only knows what's going to happen with Fland. Alex Condon, I mean, Florida still stacked, and wouldn't shock me at all to see them right back in the Final Four. But the top 5 in the SEC are all capable, I think, of playing, getting all the way to the Elite 8 Final Four. I think these are all Elite 8. You guys, worst case scenario, Sweet 16. Say what?
I said, you guys heard it here. Ty just called an all SEC Final Four. That's what I heard.
Not necessarily. They're all capable of getting there. And of course, we know how the tournament will line out where, only 2 will be able to make it, but who knows? I think last year, actually, there could have been a tournament where all the regions. Yeah, I think actually, every there could have been a Final Four SEC actually because of how many teams they sent in the brackets. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I'm pretty
there
sure
was someone in every side or every region.
Yeah, that's right. So maybe that happens this year. It's strong. I know this much. Florida, again, I would put Kentucky probably at 15-3. Arkansas probably right at about 14-4. Worst case scenario, maybe 12 conference games. But that's worst case scenario. Just a core group of guys back. All that scoring, like you said, we got pre-injury Brazil so far. I mean, based on one game. So I'm very high on this team.
Well, he started that mid-February, it feels like, of last season. Pre-injury Brazil. It was like all of a sudden, no more timid, no more I might get hurt. He just started playing, I want to say mid-February last year.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like he's just picked up where he left off. No more pretty braids and nail polish and dumb stuff. He's out there playing ball, and he looks like he's playing for a draft.
Yeah,
so,
he does.
I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying it felt like he was distracted for a year and a half.
It did.
And I don't feel like he's distracted anymore.
And it also seemed like he kind of didn't fit at times, even when he comes back from an injury under Musselman.
Well, he seemed timid the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that. I mean, I've had a devastating injury. If I showed my left leg on the screen, some people would be like, "Oh my God, what happened to you?"
Oh my God.
It looks like a shark tore through my lower leg.
I've seen it.
And so I get being a little bit timid. I've stepped on a basketball court since then, and it's intimidating, but sometimes you overcome that and sometimes you don't. And when he was under Musselman, and even at the beginning of last season, it looked like he was just never going to overcome that timidity of, I might get injured again. Oh, I might. And then sometime around February, it's like he completely changed.
He was more aggressive.
Matt says I'm lying. You've seen it.
I've seen it. I've seen it. It does. I didn't even notice it until Tim pointed it out. And I was like, whoa, what the hell? What happened, bro? It did look like a shark bite. Ty must be drunk. Tim, man, do you know who Kentucky has? They returned the SEC Player of the Year in Otiga Owen. Owa, whatever.
Yeah.
Denzel Aberdeen. Like, they've got some units on this team, bro. Their guards, solid. I can't pronounce that Mo kid's last name, but Kentucky's got some talent. I mean, and also, I'm pretty sure it ended up being the number one. I think it was like the number one SEC transfer class too. I mean, they're just. I hate to say it, and believe me, it pains me to say it, but I would right now put Kentucky. And again, I'm just saying SEC regular season wins. That doesn't mean that I would take Kentucky over Arkansas. I don't. We'll see when we get there, but. Right now, I wouldn't. I think I would take Arkansas. I might change my tune after tonight, though. Who knows?
Well, and
we're not supposed to.
Blue Bloods die hard. Like North Carolina falling apart recently. I mean, that's taken time for that to happen. Kentucky's not going to fall apart because Calipari was gone 1 season or 2 seasons. The Pope's actually doing a pretty good job. So,
he is.
It's not like Cal's gone. Kentucky's not going to be the same. They're still a blue blood. They're still a place that kids want to go because it's Kentucky. It doesn't matter who the coach is.
Yeah.
Until you start to see some failure, kids are going to want to go there.
Always. And I hate to say it. And it's, Pope is
hopefully we're building Arkansas that same way where we become that destination. I think we would have been if the Nolan situation hadn't gone the way it had gone. Hopefully we can become that destination all the time where it transfers from coach to coach. Uh-oh.
Look at his profile.
We're crowning them. Oh my God, I'm not crowning them. I'm just saying, bro.
Look at his his profile picture. I had to like look in.
Oh no.
He's talking about the Arkansas fans in chat, I think. He says Kentucky's loaded and literally just beat the number one team in America as of now. Kentucky got it. For now, I agree. I think that is just Kentucky's. I would put them at number one with us, with Arkansas and probably Florida right there in the mix. I do wonder about Alabama a little bit. A lot of people think they're going to have kind of a down year, like down for them, where like maybe they aren't in contention.
It's a down year.
Say what?
You putting them at 5th is a down year.
Yeah, anyone putting them outside like the top 3. I mean, because Nate Oates has had those guys rolling. David says Purdue is overrated. It's possible. Charles Taylor says oink, oink, oink. Okay, to Charles. Sounds good, bro. Kentucky wins an exhibition and we're crowning them. That's not why. Again, John Calipari's the GOAT's probably responding to Pooh Bear, but that's not why I'm putting him at number 1. I'm putting him at number 1 because of the roster. And it turns out Pope's a pretty good coach. Maybe it turns out that last year, you know what? Everyone just kind of swept Kentucky. Maybe they underestimated Kentucky last year and they maybe snuck up on people. I have a hard time believing that because they are Kentucky. And this year they get exploited and it turns out he's overrated. That could happen too. Listen, it's just all fun. It's based on what we know about their rosters and just kind of where I like to have them.
I will admit that when they announced that Pope was their coaching choice, I laughed. I was like, well, that's the end of the run right there.
He does. He looks goofy. And that video of him doing the Kentucky, oh my God.
Yeah.
Really, they hired a goober. Ty, late, but did you already talk about James Franklin possibly being the next head coach? Ty
already said he is the next head coach. They just haven't decided to announce it yet. That's what he said.
Oh, is that what I said?
You don't remember because you have a cold.
Yeah, I must have. Bobby G says start wearing blue, trader. Okay. Oh, God bless you, Bobby G. He's probably just clowning. Hey, really quick. We got like 6 minutes here before Arkansas tip off. Really fast. Did what happened Saturday completely run Bobby Petrino off as the next head? Like the possibility? Do you think that's it? There's no chance, or do you think there's still a good possibility they end up with Bobby?
I think there's it definitely lessened the chance. There's not a 0 chance. Partially because of how many coaching positions are open, and also partially because this is a team that has the talent to win. This is a team that has the ability to win. And the defense finally showed up a little bit. They didn't really show up because they allowed us many rushing yards almost as we had total offensive yards. It's still Swiss cheese defense, but they held them to field goals. So they kind of showed up a little bit, but the offense gave the game away. And it's almost so bad. Like, I want to call, Taylor Green. I almost want to give him the nickname Terry Rozier, the NBA guy. I'm sure you've seen the videos and heard the FBI stuff. I mean, I'm not saying, but I'm saying, like,
4 turnovers in the fourth quarter.
You got to start questioning things when 3 of those turnovers come on picks that a high school quarterback could have thrown a better pass. And I said that early in the season. That Bobby is not coaching Talon out of these high school interceptions. It starts to look like, man, are some of these intentional? I'm not saying they're intentional. Don't chew me out here, guys, but I'm just saying you're not learning from your mistakes, and that's on Bobby. The ball security is on Bobby at this point. It's one thing to fumble once. It's another thing to fumble twice. When you're getting into this game, that's on Bobby. Fix ball security, Bobby. But all that to say, if he was to win out, which, I mean, we have as much chance of beating every team on the rest of our schedule as we've had all season long. I don't think we will, but all of these games are winnable games that are left. If he was to manage to pull out wins, he could still get the job. I don't want him to at this point. My opinion has changed, mostly because Talon's not getting coached out of high school errors. Ball security has still not been addressed this far into the season, and it's on Bobby. Okay, you put it on Sam for the first 4 games, but Bobby should have made that a priority to fix, and he did it. So, do I want him back? I'm kind of down on Bobby this week. But yeah, he pulls out wins. He could save the job still today. Beat Texas, beat LSU, beat Mississippi State, beat Missouri. You've got the job. You go bowling with those 4 wins. If he went bowling, he would be here next year.
Dude is still crying over Bobby P. Man, that girl's gone. Give it up.
Dude is still crying. Who?
I don't know. I guess you're crying over Bobby. I didn't get that vibe. Manny says Bobby is still the guy. He's still got a couple of games to prove it. I'll end the show on this. It is a week-to-week trial by fire basis. If you're still Team Bobby, and I'll go back to what I've said since Pittman was fired. Bobby's not even in my top 3. He's not even in my top 4. But if you're Team Bobby and you want him back, this is a week by week. He has to start winning games. And the 4 turnovers in a single quarter, you could say, well, that's on Green, that's not on Bobby. Maybe so. But like Tim just pointed out, the turnovers are still a problem. And by the way, it's yet another game where 2 different players fumble the ball for turnovers. 2 different players. That's happened far too often since Bobby's been the coordinator. Ball security is not at the top of their concerns, as far as I could tell. Maybe they're working on them in practice behind closed doors. It sure as hell doesn't seem that way to me. This team has shitted away so many victories the last 2 years. You can argue that Bobby is absolutely the reason why you've been in some of these games, why you won 7 games last year. Fair enough. But what we have seen is them shit away so many games because they just refuse to win. And at some point, there is a common denominator, and that is Bobby Petrino was the coordinator last year, and he's the interim right now, still calling the plays for the offense, or still in control of the offense. So he's got to win games. It's a trial by fire, week in and week out. If they can't figure out how to win some games, he's not going to even be mentioned. It's going to be done and over with. And hell, it probably already is. I don't know, depending on where they're at with this coaching search. But a lot of things have got to change between now and the end of the season, right? For him to even just be considered. So, all right. We're done here. I appreciate everyone. I realize everyone's hopping out. The game's starting. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Shout out to Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. Same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes, better than best results. Yeah, 501-244-3667. That is Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. Patreon supporters, I love you. Tim, you're awesome. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Go Hogs. Razorbacks winning tonight, by the way. Woo!